Ngayong gabi sa Counterpoint, kikilalanin natin ang pinakabagong mukha na maghahatid sa atin ng balita dito sa Net 25. Sino nga ba? Si Gianna Llanes. Ako si Salvador Salpanelo at ito ang Counterpoint. Merong isang balita akong nabasa na nung makita ko DOJ cases are being dismissed left and right. 9 out of 10 cases nadidismiss ng hukuman. At ito po hindi galing sa akin o galing sa iba. Galing sa Department of Justice mismo. Isang pag-amin ang kanilang pagkatalo at pagkabigo sa mga pinoprosecute nilang mga kaso. Ano man trabaho ng mga nasa DOJ? Ang pangunahin pong tungkulin nila, usigi nila ang mga lumalabag sa batas. It is tasked to prosecute the transgressors of the law. Lahat ng lumalabag. But more importantly, ang kanila pong mandato ay magbigay ng katarungan sa bawat isa. Pero ang nakakagulat, bakit kayo natatalo? Kasi ito ho'y nakikipagdigmaan sa tinatawag kong bragadosyo o kayabangan ng namumuno sa inyo. Sapagkat kapansin-pansin, mula nung ito ay hawakan ang kanyang departamento ng katarungan, talaga namang makikita mo yung pompous statements, cocky pronouncements on the certainty of the guilt of a particular respondent or accused. Kahit pa nga walang preliminary investigation, nandun yung 100% sure na mananalo kami. Yan ang utak. Yan ang kriminal. So, pag ganyan ang mga mapapanood nyo, siyempre, okay . Pagkatapos, magugulantang na lang tayo. Nadidismiss pala mga kaso nila. At kung matatandaan nyo, yung mabibigat na kaso pa ang nadidismiss, natatandaan po ninyo yung kaso sa illegal drug trade involving a known drug dealer, isang talagang operator ng droga. At kung matatandaan nyo, itong pangalan niya, hindi ko na nga babanggitin . Kilala niyo naman to. Ito ang talagang pinag-initan ng dating Presidente Duterte kasi talagang inimbestigan maraming kalap. At nakita na talagang ito involved. And yet, maniniwala ba kayo siya'y na-absuelto dyan sa Cebu, kung hindi tayo nagkakamali. Na-absuelto na naman siya sa Maynila. At na-absuelto na naman siya recently. And then, etong masakit. Yun yung pinakawaling kaso niya. Kasi marami siyang kaso, may legal possession pa nga . Binigyan ho siya ng hukuman ng temporary freedom. Grinant ho yung kanyang bail petition. Ang ibig kong sabihin, kasi pag yun yung mga kasong ganyan, ang penalty matitindi. Life imprisonment, maigit sa 10 taon, 20 years, 30 years. Alam nyo, hindi ho as a matter of right ang pansamantalang paglaya. Kasi pag ordinaryong mga krimen lang, under the Constitution, pwede kayo mag-file ng bail bond or whether cash or bond. Pero pag matindi ang krimen, heinous crime, ay kailangan patunayan ng prosecution na malakas ang kaso against you. Sapagkat pag hindi napatunayan ng taga-usig na malakas ang kanyang ebidensya sa akusado, bibigyan mo siya ng pansamantalang paglaya hanggang hindi natatapos ang kaso. Yan o ang nangyari dito sa drug dealer o drug lord na tinutukoy natin. Binigyan ng bail. O ibig sabihin, talo na naman ang prosecution. Ano man dahilan? O ito ang sabi nila. Ang dahilan daw, galing ko sa kanila ito. Number one, yun daw pong demanda ay mali. Pangalawa, kulang daw ang ebidensya. Pangatlo, natatalo daw sila sa teknikalidad. Teka muna, doon sa maling demanda, abay, ito yung mga abogado. Bilang abogado, alam nila kung anong dapat na idemanda. Hindi ka po pwede magkamali dyan. Pinag-aaralan yan. So, ibig sabihin, yung may hawak niyan, hindi pinag-aaralan ng kanyang kaso. Yung isa naman na sinasabing kulang ang ebidensya, unang-una, kung kulang, bakit nyo final? Kasi, pag kayo po ay piskal at binigyan kayo ng kaso para isulong sa hukuman, pinag-aaralan nyo, malalaman nyo kung malakas o mahina ang kaso. In fact, during sa preliminary investigation pa lang, yun yung nag-iimbestiga ang piskal o prosecutor, tinitingnan niya kung may probable cause. Pero kahit na probable cause lang ang tinitingnan, kailangan tingnan nyo rin kung meron kayong sapat na ebidensya na papasa doon sa quantum of proof required. Ano ba yung kinakailangang prueba? Kailangan proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Kailangan yung ebidensya nyo hihigit pa doon sa reasonabling pagdududa na siya ay may kasalanan. Kaya dapat, doon pa lang sa preliminary investigation stage, ang mga prosecutors dapat dinidismiss kagad yan pag walang, kahit na may probable cause. Pag ang ebidensya nyo, kulang. I-dismiss nyo na kagad yan. Kasi kayong mapapayayang. Gaya, palagi ko ganyan nga ang mga nangyayari. May probable cause nga, pero kulang kayo ng ebidensya. Dismiss ang kaso. Yun naman teknikalidad. Hindi ko rin maintindihan yan. Usually, yung mga technicalities na tinatawag sa mga drug cases. Kasi alam nyo, meron pong mga requirement na may proseso mula sa, halimbawa, nagkaroon ng entrapment. Siyempre, yung prohibited drug, kailangan, yun ang ebidensya nyo. Na nagkaroon ng bentahan o kaya may possession. Sa batas, kailangan mula doon sa matuklasan nyo yung prohibited drug, hanggang ito ay inventory, hanggang ito ay itago, hanggang makarating sa piskal, hanggang makarating sa korte, meron ng prosesyon. Pag hindi nyo na sagawa yung inihingi ng batas, siguradong dismiss. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng lahat ng ito? It only means this dismal performance, incredible, hindi nga ako makapaniwala, pero sila mismo nagsasabi. Ibig kong sabihin yan, hindi kayo preparado, hindi nyo pinag-aralan ng mga kaso, at wala kayong coordination doon sa mga pulis na nag-iimbestiga. Kasi dapat yan, yun ang piskal, pag nakita nyo sa investigation stage pa lang, o kung kahit na tapos na, at tinawakan nyo yung kaso, malalaman nyo, kulang ang ebidensya to. Dapat, coordinate na kayo sa mga pulis. Kulang itong ebidensya mo. Madidismissan tayo ng kaso. Kaya dapat hindi nyo isinusulong ang kaso na mahina. At kailangan preparado mag-aral po kayo. Hindi po pwede yung pa-peche-peche lang ang paghawak ng kaso. Maniwala kayo. Ito'y nakakahiya. This is an embarrassing development and situation for the Department of Justice. Kasi naman, sana naman kasi kayong mga nandiyan sa Department of Justice, hindi ko naman nilalahat. Pero ang problema, yung pinakapuno ninyo mas madalas yung mga pahayag na wala pang ebidensya. Pag sumabog, kagaya, kita nyo yung mga nangyayari sa mga nakarang kaso. 100% raw, pagkatapos bigla pa nag-recant. Nagkaroon ng kaloko-loko kaso. Kaya siguro maging mababaho ang kalooban na. Maging humble lang tayo. Trabaho lang tayo. Tama na yung mga publicity stunts. O yung talagang sinasadya na magkaroon ng forum para ang isang tao ay malatala sa dyaryo, maging laman ng balita. Huwag na mo yun. Work quietly and silently. Gayahin niyo yung mga ibang kasama niyo sa kabinete. Mga 6 sa kanila, tahimik. Yun nabanggit ko na minsan sa isang episode natin. Sana ito'y maging aral sa mga prosecutors ng Department of Justice. Lalong-lalo na doon sa kanilang puno. Mamaya sa pagbabalik ng Counterpoint, makakasama na po natin ang pinakabatang news anchor na nakakasama natin sa tanghali at maghahatid sa atin ng pandaigdigang balita sa gabi, si Gianna Llanes. Kaya naman, dyan lamang po kayo.
From catering services, bespoke shoes, to his latest venture in vending machines, there's no let-up for this young entrepreneur. Just what does it take to be an entrepreneur that recognizes the ever-evolving landscape of the catering industry and saw an opportunity to leverage his catering knowledge to offer ready-to-eat meal packs as another business stream? Together, let's learn the diverse and fascinating engagements of Felix Asuncion, from providing food and living up to his family's legacy as we are now open for business.
My massive transformative purpose is we serve to feed every table. Serving and feeding each and every families here in the Philippines.
Open for business with Cesar Vallejos, Sunday, 9 p.m.
Kayo, fake news na rin ba kayo? Naniniwala ako sa national concern na itong paglaganap ng fake news. At I'm sure kasama ko sa paniniwalang ito ang espesyal na panauhin natin ngayong gabi, Miss Corina Sanchez Rojas.
Yay!
Magandang gabi, Corina. Ikaw ba, Corina, na-biktima na ba kayo ng fake news?
Check tayo dyan. It's very dangerous because pwede makasira ng buhay eh. Pag hindi totoo, ang tendency mo, hindi mo nalang papansinin. But gone are those days.
Teka.
Right?
Ibig sabihin yan,
Oo.
may mga pinatulang ka. Naniniwala ka ba na malala ang problema natin sa fake news? Mag-reality check tayo.
You know, it should start in legislation. Bumalik ka na kasi.
She was crowned as Miss Philippines Earth Water 2020. Beauty queen, courtside reporter, a former VJ, artist, and now the newest member of Net25 News as the news anchor of Mata ng Agila sa Tanghali at Mata ng Agila International. Please welcome the beauteous Gianna.
Thank you so much, Attorney Sal, for having me here today.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you.
I'm
I
excited.
understand you've been sportscasting for many years.
Yes, well, that's actually my first love. I've been a courtside reporter for the past 10 years because I grew up in a basketball family.
Oh,
So
why is
my-
that? Tell us about it. Why basketball family?
Yes, Paul. My grandfather played professional basketball back in the day, a long time
Who
ago.
was he?
Jean Salgado.
Ah, okay.
Yes, and then my brother also played college basketball. I have an uncle who is a coach in professional basketball. So I've just been around basketball my whole life.
So
I even played.
So how did you get into this sportscasting?
I played basketball as well
Oh,
for 6
really?
years.
Ah, okay.
And I actually went to an international school here in the Philippines called Faith Academy.
Okay.
I waited a year and I was invited, instead of being a part of the basketball team, to audition to become a courtside reporter. And it all took off from there.
There's a switch from sportscasting to newscasting.
Yes.
Ano nangyari?
Well, being a news anchor has always been my biggest dream.
Oh, really?
I can look back at interviews from 10 years ago saying I want to be a news anchor someday. Pero alam ko rin po, it's not an easy job. So that's exactly why that's what I studied when I went to college. I studied AB Communication. My track was journalism.
Okay.
I also took a course in Brown University for journalism, and I found out that there's so many stories everywhere you go. And that's exactly why, from just limiting myself to being a sports reporter, I wanted to expand and learn more about not just everything across the Philippines, but around the world too.
So how did you get into Net 25?
I actually auditioned for Net 25 a few months ago at the beginning of the year. I was a little lost then. I didn't know my next step in life. I had jumped from different networks, really trying to get
Find
my
yourself.
career to where I wanted to be. And then I got invited to audition here at Net 25 just for a general screening.
Okay.
Didn't hear anything back for a few months. Then while I was competing in Binibining Pilipinas, I got a call from one of the directors here saying, you know, me applying numerous times got the attention of the management and they wanted to meet me. And then a few days after that, they invited me to become an anchor here po.
Now, as a news anchor, how do you prepare for going on board?
Yes, boy, it's really learning more about the world and being open. I've learned how to limit myself, especially when it's hard news that could affect me emotionally. And
It does affect you emotionally?
in the beginning, it did. In the first few days, it did. I would, see the images and videos. I mean, I'm human. I have emotions. And it would make me sad. I would think about it afterwards, and I would think, I cannot believe that, this is all going on in the world around me. But eventually, I made sure to get myself in the right headspace before getting on camera, knowing that I'm also doing my duty as a member of the media by sharing this news across the world, sharing this knowledge, informing everybody. And I make sure rin po that I try to just stay focused the entire time. So I review my scripts. If there's anything that I don't know how to pronounce, I research it, I ask around. I also show everybody that I'm willing to learn and improve.
Do you watch other anchors in other stations here and abroad?
I do watch anchors here and abroad, yes. And I learn from them. I don't just watch female anchors too. I watch male anchors because that can put a little spin on my personality, being someone who came from a male-dominated industry like basketball.
Who is your role model in the foreign anchorship?
I love Anderson Cooper. I've
okay.
always loved Anderson
How about
Cooper.
the female ones? Erin Burnett.
Yes. Well, there's a few po. It's really hard to decide, but main po talaga si Anderson Cooper.
Now, what are the challenges that you're confronted with in newscasting?
I think one of the biggest ones is when people see me, they think I'm very young. So
Yeah, you look 21.
Oh, I appreciate that. I wish I was 21. We can add a
Assuming
couple
that
of
I'm
years.
not lying.
Thank you, Paul. I hope you're not lying.
No, I'm not.
Just kidding. I guess when they see me, they can see that I'm quite young. And when you think of a news anchor, you think of someone who's a little bit older. But that just shows that we members of the youth also have a voice. We can make our own impact in any field that we want to make an impact in. So it's also an honor.
So, when you're there on the podium,
Yes.
what thoughts run through you before you make your opening statement?
It's all about confidence po, for me. I make sure that every single thing that I say it with confidence. So if there are doubts that I'm a female news anchor, that I'm a young news anchor, I show them through my confidence that I'm somebody that they have to listen to.
When you're given the script, do you go through it and look at some grammatical omissions or what?
Yes po.
Yes. And you call the attention of the writer.
I do po.
Okay.
Sometimes if it's last minute, I didn't notice in the beginning. I just change it as I read. But most of the time po, I point it
How
out.
do you verify the facts written on the script?
I watch a lot of news as well, po, and I read a lot of news. And this isn't just training for being a news anchor, it's also something I learned while joining pageants, because I felt like my biggest strength as a beauty queen was that I was able to speak. So every single time during a competition, which I just finished Binibining Pilipinas, I would read the news every single morning so that I was informed.
Can you give us some interesting anecdotes or events, incidents when you were sports casting?
Oh, there's a lot. Po.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Give us a few.
Well, I have been doing it for 10 years, so I'd be one of 4 girls in the environment, right? But I would make sure I actually collect basketball shoes.
Okay.
So I would like to show off my personality through my shoes, and that's what people knew me for in the basketball league. They would just get excited to know which pair of shoes I would wear for each game, and that's also how I connected to the players and the coaches, because I knew that they would like shoes as well. So that's how I would start conversations like, hey, I like those pairs of shoes, or are those new? Tell me the story behind them. And even from something as little as that, I was able to make a mark in that industry.
Any hilarious incident?
Yes, I've been hit by the ball a few times. I'm sure
While you're
people,
doing the-
while I'm reporting. There was also an incident when I was interviewing a player for best player of the game, and he proposed to his girlfriend. So I was just there in the
he
middle.
proposed to you.
Oh, that hasn't happened. He proposed to his girlfriend. There were some mishaps here and there of the people that I'm interviewing. They said things that slipped out of their tongue that became viral. There's one video where everyone was tagging me the next day. Are you the interviewer? Are you the host? Because the person I was interviewing said something funny. So.
What about now, when you're anchoring the Mata ng Agila?
Yes.
Any
po.
faux pas on your part?
Well, for Mata ng Agila sa tanghali, Filipino is not my first language, so there
Okay.
are little slip-ups, little mispronunciations, but I think I pulled it off naman po afterwards.
Okay.
And then sa Mata ng Agila International a couple of days ago, our prompter actually was not working. So there were a few seconds where I was just looking at my FD, thinking, what do I do? I couldn't find the script for the next story, but it just shows that this is what happens in live TV. We accept it, we embrace it, and we use it to make us better.
In your newscasting, do you get to make comments on the news that you're reading?
There's ad-lib po in the end.
In the end,
Yes, there's ad-lib in the end. And sometimes, let's say, there's a video playing or somebody else is reporting, I like to talk to my co-anchors about it. I'd tell them how I react to that specific story, what they think. I like to get their opinions on it as well.
have you envisioned yourself as a talk show host?
Yes, po, yeah.
And you'd like that?
I would love that, po. Yes. I actually, so when I was in high school, I took a journalism program at Brown University in Rhode Island. And my teacher there, at that time, I wanted to pursue becoming a lawyer, just like you.
Oh, really?
And not a journalist
not
just
late.
yet. It's not late, it's not late. But my teacher told me, you really have a gift when it comes to interviewing people. And that's why I decided to eventually pursue becoming a journalist, because I wanted to really hone that gift and embrace it as much as possible.
Show us.
Well, how's your day today? Can you tell me what you like most about being a host of your own show?
Apart
Attorney
from
Sal?
your being the guest?
Yes, I'd love to know.
Well, one of the best things that this program presents is that the guests presents themselves as successful men and women, and they describe how they're able to achieve them. And to my mind, when the viewers see that, they're inspired and they would emulate.
Yes.
Yan ang maganda sa programang ito.
And Attorney Sal, I also know that you have different types of guests here on your show.
Yes.
Different genders, different ages. Why is it important for you to show that you can be successful no matter what?
You know why? Because each of us has qualities that has to be shown to people. Kasi Meron yan, like for instance, yung mga PWD.
Yes.
Pati yung mga special children. Magugulat ka. They have special talents na wala yung ordinaryong tao.
Yes.
Gusto kong ilabas yun. Tsaka yung mga controversial na tao, I'd like to show to the viewers na yung pagka-controversial niya, merong paroroonan.
Apo.
May pupuntahan.
Yes.
Hindi lang negative, kundi may positive things.
Yes. Providing them with a voice rin po.
Yes. Now, puntahan naman natin yung
Sige.
pagka-beauty queen mo.
Okay po.
Paano ka naman nahiling na pumasok niyan sa
Pagpapageant
contest na
po.
ganyan?
Joining pageants actually was never a dream for me. Dahil po lumaki ako sa Canada, never ko na-feel na ako yung standard of
Canada ka
beauty.
pala lumaki.
Opo. And I mean, even here in the Philippines, there's a specific standard of beauty that I never felt like I fit into. But when I wanted to start my career as a sports reporter, I got a lot of advice from other people saying, you're a good speaker, pageantry is emerging nowadays to embrace women who can speak, so why don't you try it out? My first pageant was in 2018, and I don't know, I just kept wanting to join because of the people that I would meet, because of the platform that I was given, and also because of the growth it gave to me as a woman. I learned that there are different standards of beauty, that there are different definitions of being a queen. So that's why I joined a total of 6 pageants.
Oh, 6. And how was the result of those competitions?
Well,
you emerged as winner? Miss Earth.
Yes, my highest title was Miss Philippines Earth 2020. And that was incredible. That was a virtual pageant. So it was all done online where I was really able to showcase how I can speak, my advocacies, and what I was passionate about.
Now, I understand you belong to a very popular and known family.
Yes,
You are
po.
the great granddaughter of the late President Diosdado Macapagal.
Yes, po.
Did you ever meet him?
Yes, he passed away when I was a baby, but I have some photos with him. We call him our Inkong. And my mom, who's a writer, actually wrote a book about him, and it was published a few years ago. So he was very much a family man. And the book that my mom wrote was actually kind of like a baby book that our Inkong filled up for her, talking about things that people didn't know about him, like his favorite movies, his favorite color, his favorite food, just so people knew him more as a grandfather, as a father, over being the president of our country.
Your mother is the daughter of one of the children of the late president, right?
Yes, po, of the eldest child, Shelo Macapagal. And I know my
Shelo
Lola is
Macapagal.
watching right now.
Okay. Greet her.
Hi, Lola.
And your mom is the daughter of Shelo Macapagal.
Yes, po.
And
Yeah.
the name is?
Ria.
Ria.
Ria Salgado Llanes.
And you, how many siblings are you?
2 siblings po.
Dalawa lang.
Yes po.
How about your relationship with the former president,
Yes po.
Gloria Macapagal Arroyo?
Yes.
Di ba you're related to her too?
Yes, so she is my grandmother's half-sister.
Okay.
And the last time I saw her, I think, was about a year ago or a couple of years ago. She goes to our family gatherings, and she told me that she watched me being a sports reporter. So that was a huge honor for me.
Do you look up to her?
I do. Especially every woman in my family, I look up to. My Lola is my biggest inspiration. So every empowered woman, you can see it through generations of our family, especially me being the eldest granddaughter of Shelo Macapagal, the eldest great-granddaughter of Diosdado Macapagal, my mom being the eldest daughter, my grandma being the eldest daughter. We all have such strong personalities, and it's through them that I learned to be outspoken, especially in a society that tends to silence women. They have taught me to break those barriers.
How do you visualize yourself 5 years or 10 years hence?
Well, that's a great question. Well, I believe...
Yeah.
Well, I would love to have a family, first of all. That is something that
family.
I am looking forward to someday when I'm ready. I'd also love to continue to expand my career as a journalist. And I'm taking up my master's degree in psychology at Harvard as well. So I would love to tap into that.
What advocacies do you have?
Yes. Well, during Binibining Pilipinas, my advocacy was women breaking the glass ceiling.
Okay.
I actually represented Palayan City, Nueva Ecija for that pageant. And one of my most memorable experiences was visiting Home for Girls. And that is located in Palayan City, and they're housing a bunch of girls who have gone through different forms of abuse around the region. And there were over 60 girls from ages 8 to 18 that I talked to. I listened to their story, and what really fascinated me was that these girls didn't even mention that they've formerly been abused. What they mentioned was the careers they wanted to pursue. They wanted to be scientists, teachers, doctors. And that showed me that not just women, but everybody can overcome the difficulties that they go through. They don't have to make that the basis of their story, and they can show that they can pursue whatever they want. So that's why that was my advocacy, really talking about women breaking the glass ceiling, especially for me going through 10 years of being a female sports reporter in a male-dominated industry, trying to reduce the microaggressions within the industry and show even further why women can tap into any career that they want.
Have you thought of initiating or organizing a project
Yes,
to pursue the advocacy of yours?
Yes po. Well, in Palayan City, we created a series of events called Palayanong Sabel. And that's something I hope to expand across the Philippines and eventually across the world. And then during the COVID-19 pandemic, I started an initiative called Bughaw because I was the reigning Miss Philippines Earth Water back then. And what we did was I was living in Mandaluyong, so we were distributing relief goods, organizing programs for people, not just who were going through the COVID-19 pandemic, but in Mandaluyong, there's a lot of fires as well, a lot of natural disasters. So I wanted to raise awareness on that.
What do you want to be known for?
I want to be known for being a woman who is unafraid to speak up
Okay.
about everything. That's exactly why I pursue journalism. That's why I continue to join pageants, because there tends to be just a lot of topics that people limit themselves to. And there are other things that people may think they are taboo, but we really need to start to discuss, like natural disasters, like mental health, like women's rights and equality. So I would love to be the one to start conversations on that.
Mukhang umiinit ang ating talakayan sa ating maganda at artikulanteng panahon. Kaso we have to pause for a short break. Babalik po ang Counterpoint after a few reminders.
Tao po. Kasi mangungupahan po sana ako. Dala-dala ko na kasi gamit ko. Bakit mo nakasabit dito sa inyo? Meron po. Pwede yung pabantay ako, tapos papag-book ko lang sa ano. Saglit lang ako, kuya, promise. Thank you.
Pare! Boy! Paano yan? Kasama ka?
Kasama ko ako?
Oo.
Ay, hindi po yan.
Ano gagawin natin?
Ititrim lang po, gugupitan. Opo, wait lang kuya, may kukunin lang ako sa taas. Pati ito kuya. At lagay mo doon.
Hello, Kap. Opo, positive. Andito po yung mga gamit na tinawag sa barangay.
Ginawa ko ang lahat. Nagpakahila ako sa ibang bansa, tapos ganyan lang gagawin mo, ha, kuya?
Wala akong alam sa sinasabi mo. Wala akong kasalanan.
Sinungaling ko! Sinungaling ko!
Oh no! You're only Sunday 45.
Nasisanti po ako.
Ayun na nga, sabi.
Bakit ka naman, Nay? Anong klaseng labang ginawa mo dyan sa mga damit ko? Bakit may mansa pa rin? Ay, bakit mo nilagyan ng ink? Ba to? Ah! Ano to? Ay, baka pinalaban na ng aso! You are fired! Huwag ka naman masyadong malupit.
Love, Bosleng, and Tali. Tuwing linggo, 6:00 ng gabi dito lang sa Net 25. This portion is brought to you by
Dito na po tayo sa isang paboritong bahagi ng ating programa. Tatanungin naman natin mga personal na katanungan sa ating panauhin. Di ba sabi mo, childhood ka nung sa Canada?
Yes po.
Bigyan mo nga kami ng mga kwento mo doon nung kay bata pa.
Paborito ko pong kwento nung nasa Canada ako. So, we moved there when I was around 5-6 years old.
Yeah.
Naalala ko pa po yung first snowfall na na-experience ko. Nakatira po kami sa maliit na apartment ng time na yon in a town that my family still lives in called Mississauga, Ontario. And pagkita po namin ng snow.
Biglang nag-snow?
Biglang nag-snow. Talagang
Lumabas ka?
ang bilis namin bumaba ng kuya ko. And gumawa kami ng snowman.
Okay.
Hindi super gandang snowman kasi medyo madumi yung snow noon.
Okay.
Pero ang saya po talaga namin. And yung parents ko lamig na lamig dahil galing Pilipinas po, diba?
Ba't nga pala nagpunta kayo doon? Ba't kayo napunta doon?
For a more peaceful life po and siguro more opportunities. And then my dad, after 6 years, got an opportunity here in the BPO industry where he is still working. He's retiring this month. Yes po. The BPO industry was booming here. He got an opportunity, couldn't pass up. So bumalik po kami. And my parents still love it here the most po.
Tinitingnan kita, iniisip ko kung ano yung tsura ng mama mo kasi balita ko, beauty queen din pala yung mother mo.
Yung mommy ko po?
O si grandmother mo?
Si Lola po.
Si Lola mo.
Yes, Lola is very beautiful. And my mom too.
Ano bang naging title ng
I think she did
Miss Teenage?
Miss Manila or within the city po talaga. Yeah, she's very, very beautiful.
So kamukha mo siya?
Yes, of course.
Hindi ng mami mo?
Yung mami ko rin po, pero kiniklaim ng lola ko, si Lola talaga. Yung lola ko po kasi is pamangkin ni Jaime and Rogelio de la Rosa.
Oo nga pala. Kasi the late president was married to
Porita de la Rosa.
Correct.
Yes, who my mom is named after.
Kaya pala, talaga pala lahi kayo ng mga ganda.
Yes.
Teka muna, ikaw ba natutong magsalita ng ibang lingwahe? Speak many languages?
Kaya ko po mag-French. Yun po yung minor ko.
Oui?
Oui, je peux parler le français.
Oh.
Mais un peu.
Ano pa? Ano pa? Italian?
Hindi po masyado.
Spanish?
Hola?
O kasi yung lola mo, Lola Gloria mo, ang galing mag-Kastila, galing mag... Lahat yata ng ano eh.
Yes, and yung lola
siya,
ko
di
rin
ba?
po, yes.
She's a linguist.
Yes.
Pati nga yung mga dialects, alam niya. Bicol, Bisaya, Ilocano.
Yung
siya.
lola ko po, first language niya is Kapampangan. So yun po yung next ko na goal na matuto magkapampangan po.
Hindi ka marunong Kapampangan?
Hindi po, kasi naging secret language yun ng lolo at lola ko from their children.
Talaga.
Opo.
I remember, I met your boyfriend, si Jerry, di ba? Boyfriend mo si Jerry.
Attorney, sa feel ko kung pangalan ni Jerry, hindi ko...
Di ba? Di ba Jerry pangalan?
No.
Ano, sino si George?
No,
Hindi rin.
close.
Close. O sige, anong pangalan ng boyfriend mo?
Vince po.
Vince?
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about him.
Okay.
Hindi Jerry, ha?
Not Jerry.
Kasi may bumulong sa akin, Jerry daw eh.
Saan galing si Jerry?
Baka naman isa sa mga suitors mo, ano?
Baka po. One of the many.
Hindi nakapasad. Oh.
Yes po. Yeah, Vince.
Where did you meet?
We were classmates in Ateneo. He was a basketball player in Ateneo. Still a basketball player now. Also born and raised in Canada. So, yeah, he's my best friend. We do everything together. Super supportive po.
Sa pamilya mo, sino ang nagbigay talaga ng impluensya sa'yo?
Yung lola ko po talaga.
Lola Cielo.
Lola Cielo po, yes. She continues to serve as my inspiration in everything that I do. She messages me every day with a motivating, inspirational quote.
Favorite ka pala.
I like to think so.
Hindi, pag biro mo, everyday kang tinetext. Ibig sabihin, favorite ka, no?
Yes. And
kasi kapatid mo,
siya
hindi
yung
mo siyang tinetext.
paborito ng aso ko rin po. Siya yung nag-aalaga sa dog. She's living alone right now in Antipolo. But my Lola is an incredible woman. She is one of the first women in the Philippines to drive a car, which has inspired me for the past 10 years to drive everywhere.
You drive?
Yes, I drive myself everywhere. Not race.
You just drive.
Just drive safely.
What about GMA.
Yes, well, of course. She's outspoken, she's fearless, and my Lola has always told us that GMA is a good example as well to really break different barriers po, to tap into these different industries. Sometimes when I'm down, my Lola would tell me stories about GMA as well. To encourage me.
Batang-bata ka pa. Sabi mo nga, mukha ka lang 21 eh. 27 ka pala. Ano naman? Pero batang-bata pa rin 27.
27.
Ano naman sa tingin mo ang hinahanap-hanap mo pang estado sa buhay na marating?
I know where you're getting to po sa politics. No,
hindi ko nga na ano eh. Talaga
not
pala. Oh.
totally closing my doors to that po. Pero
Okay.
right now, syempre po, I've been working in the media for the past 10 years. I do want to go beyond that.
Okay.
I want to start being able to input my own opinions, my own stories, and my own advocacies, which is exactly why I also started studying my master's degree rin po in psychology, because I wanted to tap into being a psychiatrist, into mental health, into providing counseling for marginalized communities here in the Philippines. Kasi po yung tinuro talaga sa akin ever since I was young, growing up in a political family, is that everything you do should be beyond yourself and your own self-satisfaction. You should do it for the service of others. You should prioritize others. My mom even told me kung may bagay ka man na gusto na gusto hiramin or angkinin ng isang tao, ibigay mo na, because that will always come back to you and you'll continue to serve your purpose in that way. So, I want to continue to find that hanggang yun na po talaga yung purpose ng buhay ko.
Punta naman tayo sa magandang fun segment.
Yay! I'm excited.
Itong mga emojis, meron kami papakitang photo dyan.
Sige
And then
po.
you react by raising that, whichever.
Hindi naman po scary.
Pwede lahat.
Wala naman pong jump scare. Yes po.
Sige. First photo, kung saan ka lumaki.
Care.
Care.
Care po, because that'll also be home to me.
Anong hindi rin quality ng mga Canadians?
Super friendly po ng mga Canadians. Super. Kahit saan ka pupunta, kung hihingi ka ng tulong, they'll drop everything para tulungan ka.
Pala mga Koreano.
Yes po. And never ko na-feel na dapat may insecure ako dahil Pinay ako. It's something to be embraced. And that's what I learned living in Ontario.
Alright.
Oh.
Yun. Sports
Actually,
casting.
I'll do the shocked emoji. The UAAP is the very first basketball league that I covered for 10 years ago.
10 years.
So kung ma-search niyo po ba sa YouTube yung mga games, sobrang neneng-nene pa po ako noon. Sobrang bata pa. But it started my career, my love for sports reporting.
Okay. And next is yan. Si Miss Wilma Galvante.
Everything except like heart, care, everything po, because she also gave me an opportunity here sa Not 25, and she's also an example of somebody who we should look up to, not just in the entertainment industry, but as a strong, empowered Filipina.
Okay. O yan. Si Weds.
Haha, no, joke lang po. Of course, love, because Wedge Kudyamat po is my partner news anchor sa amin pong bagong programa. Lang Mata ng Agila sa Tanghali. Mapapanood niyo po yan Mondays to Fridays at 12 noon. So, kita-kits po tayo dyan. Wedge has been so helpful po.
And next, ito, paborito mo ito. Kanina mo binabanggit ito eh. Great-grandmother.
So, yan po yung first wife ni Justado Macapagal.
Yan ang kapatid ni Jaime de la Rosa at Rogelio de la Rosa.
Yes po, yes. So, I would give her a name. I give her a heart. Kasi sabi po ng mommy ko, sa kanya po ako pinaglilihi nung buntis po yung mom ko. Para maganda rin ako.
Maganda ka naman lumabas eh. Mas maganda ka pa nga sa kanya eh.
Wow! Thank you
Siyempre, nag-i-improve yan. Yan.
I'll give a care emoji po. Actually po, binanggit ko sa Binibining Pilipinas Sisters ko po na mag-guest ako sa show nyo. And ito po yung pinaka-recent na pageant ko, which I did have a great time. Nung Pagpasok ko po sa pageantry, Binibining Pilipinas talaga yung pinakamalaking pangarap ko po dahil siya yung pinaka-prestigious sa Philippines. But throughout the experience, ang dami ko rin po natutunan. Mga misconceptions about women that we have to start to break, mga experiences kung saan po tumatag talaga yung puso ko. And it also made me realize and embrace my accomplishments and myself, that not everyone has to acknowledge it sometimes. As long as you're confident in yourself, that's all you need.
O siyempre, kailangan meron kang
Wow!
bouquet of
Thank you po. Thank you.
Roses.
Thank you, Attorney Sal, for having me. Thank you po.
Our pleasure.
Thank you po.
Alam mo, sa mga talk show, bira yung mga kagaya mong artikulant. Maganda na, artikulante pa.
Ay,
madaldal
salamat
pa.
po. Madaldal.
At saka may sense.
Thank you po. Thank
Kaya
you.
nakakatuwa na. At kami ay talagang tuwang-tuwa, hindi lang nakakatuwa na dumating ka.
Maraming salamat po. I had a good time. Next time po, dadalhin ko na yung flute ko.
Oh,
Promise yan. Magduduet
sigurado
tayo.
Sa pagbabalik ng Counterpoint, may panibagong kwento na naman tayong makakapulutan ng aral at inspirasyon sa segment namin na Handog sa mga batang may kapansanan.
From catering services, bespoke shoes, to his latest venture in vending machines, there's no let-up for this young entrepreneur. Just what does it take to be an entrepreneur that recognizes the ever-evolving landscape of the catering industry and saw an opportunity to leverage his catering knowledge to offer ready-to-eat meal packs as another business stream? Together, let's learn the diverse and fascinating engagements of Felix Asuncion, from providing food and living up to his family's legacy, as we are now open for business.
My massive transformative purpose is we serve to feed every table. Serving and feeding each and every families here in the Philippines.
Open for business with Cesar Vallejos, Sunday, 9 p.m. This portion is brought to you.
Love comes in different shapes and sizes, ika nga. Nung single pa sila, they were strong individuals. But when they became a couple, they created this synergy of love and life. Ibig kong ipakilala sa inyo ang isang PWD power couple in Paralympics. Chess gold medalist Gianna Llanes and basketball silver medalist Marlon Nasita. Welcome dito sa Counterpoint.
Hi, attorney. Hello.
Una-una, ibig kong tanongin, ito ba love at first sight? Nung kayo'y magkatinginan, na-in-love na kagad kayo sa isa't isa?
Siya daw po sasagot.
Oh, ikaw ang sasagot.
Na-develop po.
Na-develop? Ay, so hindi pala love at first sight? Ikaw, love at first sight ba?
Hindi rin.
Hindi rin. Talaga. Teka muna. Bakit? Anong nakita mo? Ikaw muna. Ikaw, anong nakita mo sa kanya? At na-develop ang iyong pag-ibig?
Napaka-strong yung personality niya.
Strong?
At saka...
Bakit? Nagbubuhat ba siya ng barbell?
Hindi pa. At saka ano pa siya, parang pagkausap siya, laging masaya po eh.
Ano pa?
At saka, yun po, parang hindi po siya... Parang napaka-positive po ng character niya.
Positive ba? Palaging positive ang kanyang attitude. Ikaw naman, anong nakita mo rito? Kay Marlon?
Wala yata.
Same lang din, attorney.
Same?
Siguro, yun nga, parang opposite ng character. That's why medyo nag-click naman.
So wala kang, maliban doon, wala kang nakitang special na quality?
Very sweet, maalaga, tsaka masipag siya, maglaba.
Maglaba? Ikaw pala, sino nagpa-plan siya?
Masipag din siya. Mag-vlog siya.
Dalawa na tayo kasi ako naglalaba at nagpa-plansa. Pero more on plansa kasi paglalaba, pinapabayaan ko na yung washing machine. Ngayon, ilan ba ang anak nyo? Paano parang, i-imagine ko, paano kayo magpapalaki ng mga anak with your handicap?
Isa lang po. So far, isa lang. Okay naman. Wala,
isa lang.
6 years old, baby boy. Yan, kasama namin today. Okay naman, wala namang problema. Very supportive siya. Naintindihan niya na.
Agad. Mga magaling na bata ito.
Attorney. Tsaka yun nga, pagkasama namin yan, masyado siyang, chine-check niya muna kung may rampa or kung mahihirapan ba kami.
Yes. Nasaan yung bata nga? Ibig ko makita yan.
Ayun, kasama namin attorney.
Dito yan. Nasaan yan?
Ang aming
Halika
big boy.
Kailangan makita natin yan. Halika iyo. Pinagmamalaki ka nitong magulang mo.
Oo, attorney, kagagraduate niya lang kanina. Tapos,
graduate ng?
Kinder.
Kinder. Wow.
6 years old. Tapos sabi niya nga, namumroblema siya kasi paano daw isasabit yung honor niya, walang rampa. Ayan, naghahanap naman siya. Okay naman, na-award naman sa kanya. Yung daddy niya, sinabayan siya nang nag-march siya.
Okay. Pwede ba kitang makausap? Anong pangalan mo?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Mac Jasper.
Ha?
Mac Jasper.
Mac Jasper. Ang ganda naman ang pangalan mo. Gwapo ka. Sino kamukha mo? Nanay mo, tatay mo? Aba, mukhang mas malakas ang tatay. Love mo ba yung tatay at nanay mo? Bakit? Bakit mo sila love?
Bakit to?
Anong ginagawa nila sa'yo pag-aalaga? Ha? Ano?
Maayos daw po.
Maayos? Ano bang ibig sabihin na maayos? Pinapaliguan ka, pinapakain ka sa oras. Oo, talaga, pinapaliguan ka. Hindi sila nahihirapan sa'yo. At hindi ka naman makulit. Hindi ka rin pasaway. Good. Teka, balikan natin yung mga magulang mo. Paano niya nga pala sinusuporta ng isa't isa?
Since yun nga po, pares kami sa sports. So, iba yung niya, basketball kasi siya, di ba? So, ako naman chess. So, magkaiba talaga kami ng kumbaga magkaiba ng field di ba? Kasi sa kanya, kailangan niya physical, ako naman mental.
Sama na ka, tuto ka mag-chess. Paano ka naman napunta sa chess?
Nung high school po, medyo naging aware ako, sumasali sa mga competition.
Okay.
Tapos, nung nag-host yung Philippines ng Pare Games back in 2005, nakasali po ako. But after nun, nag-rest na kasi nag-work. So, nawala. And then, nung time na nakapasok din siya sa sports, yun nga, sabi niya, na-mention niya, merong mga nag-chess na babae, itry ko raw. So, siya yung nag-convince sa akin. And then, luckily, when I joined the para chess team back in 2015, ayun, nakapag, naman.
Ito naman, si Marlon, paano ka naman, napunta dyan sa basketball?
Grassroots program po ng
barangay?
LGU po namin. Then, nagkaroon po ng National Paralympic Game. So, in-invite po ako pagkatapos po noon, naglaro po ako sa LGU namin, in-invite po ako ng coach ng national team na if ever gusto ko po mag-try out. Then, luckily po, nakuha po ako. Then, eventually hanggang ngayon po, member pa rin po ako.
Outside of the sports, kayo ba merong trabaho?
Supervisor po ako sa isa sa mga call center. So we're supporting US account, technical
Dahil nakatapos
support.
ka?
Yes, business management.
Ikaw naman, Marlon?
Undergrad po ako ng college. Business admin po.
Pero you're working?
Hindi po, suporta po ako sa kanya. Ako po yung tagahatid. Ako po yung nasa bahay.
Ikaw ang houseband?
Oo po.
Hindi housewife.
Pag may pupunta po siya, ako po yung...
Nagda-drive kasi siya ng car.
Ako po yung
nagda-drive ka ng car, ha?
Yes.
Aba, okay yan, ha?
Kaya imbis na siya na lang nagda-drive. And everyday din yung training nila
Araw-araw po.
Doon ba sa accelerator, yung paa mo ginagamit mo?
Hindi po, meron po siyang naka-convert po siya. May conversion po siya. Opo.
Ngayon, merong kabang mensahe sa kabiyak mo?
Message ko, kung ano yung gusto mo, nandito lang kami, so supportahan ko din. If ever na may kailangan ka, then just ask then pag-usapan natin.
So ikaw naman, anong mensahe mo sa kanya?
Same naman po. Nagsusupport naman kami sa isa't isa, especially, yun nga, magkaiba kami ng field when it comes to sport. So, suportahan po kami kasi isa lang naman yung goal namin.
Paano nga pala yung pinag-aandaan ikaw sa chess? Bago ka sumali sa competition, ikipaglabang ka sa mga kaibigan mo para ma-practice?
Yes po. Meron kaming camp training kasi as a para chess team, meron kaming mga blind, meron kaming kasamang, yun nga, mga orthopedically handicapped. And then, part po ng training na sumasali kami sa mga tournament here tsaka abroad. Tapos nagka-camp training po talaga kami.
Ikaw naman, Marlon, ikaw ba palagi kang naglalaro?
Everyday po yung practice namin. Since,
talaga?
Opo. Kaya po, matagal na po akong, everyday po nagpa-practice kami.
Kailan ang next game ninyo na sasalihan?
Sana po, ito pong, may laban po kami preparation for China sa Asian Games naman po. Preparation po.
Ay, ikaw naman,
This
kailan
coming
na next?
October. Sabay po kami, attorney. So, we're preparing for the Asian Games this coming October.
October na ba yung Asian Games?
Asian,
po.
Asian Para Games po.
Nakailang medalya ka na? Dami mong medalya. Ang ilang medalya mo na yan?
Akin, ito po yung latest, yung sa Cambodia na SEA
Cambodia.
Games. Opo, bumalik kami nung June 10.
Ilan ang tinalo mo doon?
Konti lang. So, team event po kami sa Blitz at saka sa Rapid. Gold at saka silver.
Oo. At sa'yo naman, yung naging silver, ba't ilan ba ang sumasali?
Mabigat po kasi yung kalaban namin naglaban namin sa championship, mabigat po kasi yung kalaban namin sa championship.
Ikaw ba shooter?
Point guard po.
Point guard ka.
Po.
Anyway, baka gusto niyong bigyan ng mensahe ang ating mga viewers sa mga kagaya niyong may kapansanan na despite your handicap, look at you. Successful. Meron pang matalinong bata ang anak na nagmamahal.
Sa kagaya po namin na PWD, wag po kayo mawawala ng pag-asa din. Maging positive lang po yung pananaw natin sa buhay. So, tutulungan po tayo. Every time na struggle natin, isipin lang natin na pinapalakas na po tayo.
How about you, Jin Lee?
Yes, so wala namang mga success overnight. So basically, kailangan talaga mag-invest and pinupunanan. So huwag kayo matakot, mag-try because darating din yung chances nyo. And once you have the opportunity, then grab it.
Okay, maraming salamat sa inyong mag-asawa at sa inyong anak, Pogi, sa pagpapaunlak sa aming paanyaya sa inyo.
Thank you po.
Thank you, attorney.
Congratulations nga pala dyan sa pagkapanalo nyo. Sana marami pa kayong dadalhin ditong medalya sa Pilipinas. Pinagkakapuri namin kayo.
Yes po. Hopefully, maka-ano po kami sa Asian. Salamat po. Thank you.
Abangan namin yan.
Sige pa.
Thank you.
Magbabalik ang Counterpoint makalipas ang ilang sandali.
Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Magandang araw, magandang araw. Any time of the day, it's super saya. Lalo na kung si Ara lagi mong kasama. Magandang araw, magandang araw.
Yung una nating guest, Miss Universe Philippines first runner-up ng 2022. Donald! Yung following siya ng Amiga ng Bayan sa kada umaga natin.
Balita, pero wow, bakit? Wala tayong sa direction.
Ganyan lang gusto ninyo. Ibaba niyo ako sa pinakamalapit na isla. Doon. Ano ba? Ay, hindi. Dito pala mas malapit.
Capping the night, I will leave you with this line from Academy Award-winning supporting actress Lupita Nyong'o. Beauty is not about perfection or conforming to societal standards. It's about embracing your individuality and celebrating what makes you unique. Join me again next week as we engage with some of the most interesting, influential, and controversial personalities. I am Salvador Sal Panelo, and this is Counterpoint.